Singapore, located at the southern tip of the Malay Peninsula, became a major global port due to its strategic position near the Strait of Malacca. Originally a British colony, it joined Malaysia in 1963 but became independent in 1965. Since then, Singapore has achieved rapid economic growth, evolving into a global trade center with strong financial and industrial sectors. And for the crisis of the Singaporeans faced, the lockdown from April to May 2020, which hurt businesses and trade, is still a survey showed 71% of Singaporeans expected economic recovery by 2021, with 36% feeling hopeful. By quarter 3 of 2020, the economy showed recovery signs due to pace reopening and retail sales decline slowed. Negative 8.6% in October versus negative 10.7% in September. However, 64% worried about job security and 47% shifted to lower price brands.
During the COVID-19 pandemic, Singapore applied the economic principle of what to produce by focusing on goods and services that were urgently needed for public health, food security, and digital access. This shift was guided by scarcity, changing demand, and national priorities. Singapore prioritized the production of health products. Local companies began manufacturing face masks, hand sanitizers, and PPE to meet the rising demand and reduce dependence on imports. Singapore supported the development of medical tools like biotech firms who produce COVID-19 test kits and ventilators for both domestic use and export, helped strengthen the healthcare system. Singapore increased local food production like urban farms and agriculture projects were expanded to grow vegetables, eggs, and fish, ensuring food supply during global disruptions. Singapore developed digital services for public safety and remote access. The government launched apps like Trace Together and Safe Entry to support contact tracing while promoting online platforms for work and education.
Singapore responded to the COVID-19 pandemic by acting swiftly and staying organized. The government collaborated with health experts, police, and community leaders to enforce safety measures. Key strategies included contact tracing, the home recovery programming for those with mild symptoms, and utilizing resources like healthcare workers, volunteers, and repurposed buildings as quarantine centers. Financial support was provided to families and businesses to ease economic pressures. Technology played a crucial role with apps like Trace Together and Safe Entry for tracking, along with websites and even drones to promote safety. Additionally, Singapore produced reusable masks and 3D printing for medical supplies. During the COVID-19 pandemic, Singapore, the first to benefit, were essential service providers and public sector workers as they received immediate protection, support, and recognition. Consumers benefited next through access to financial aid, free masks, and digital service that made daily life safer and convenient. Producers and businesses benefited later, especially those who quickly adapted to digital platforms, local manufacturing, and health-related innovations. Those who were part of essential services or who embraced digital transformation benefited first, while others had to adjust or wait for recovery support.
In 2020, Singapore's economy faced a severe recession with a 13.3% contraction in gross domestic products in quarter 2 due to lockdowns, weak external demand, and a collapse in tourism and aviation. While the economy rebounded by 7.9% in quarter 3, it was still down 7% year-on-year. Key sectors hit hardest included construction negative 59.9%, services negative 13.6%, and transport engineering negative 35.8%, while manufacturing, particularly biomedical, has a positive na 89.8%, and electronics plus 30.1%, showed strong growth. Fiscal response. The government responded with Singaporean dollar 100 billion stimulus, drawing a Singaporean dollar 52 billion from reserves. The PMI rebounded in quarter 3, signaling recovery, but some services sectors remained weak. The outlook for recovery in 2021 and 2022 is optimistic, with gross domestic product growth forecasted at 3.7% and 6%, but risks remain from a new COVID waves and struggling oil-related industries. COVID-19 caused sharp but evolving short-term impacts on consumption and labor markets among older Singaporeans ages 50 to 70. At its peak in April 2020, household spending fell 22.8%, labor income dropped 5.9%, and the probability of full-time work declined 1.2% in April and 6% in May. Overall employment and self-employment were only slightly affected. The first factor of it is heterogeneity. Wealthier individuals cut spending more, while those with lower net worth face bigger labor market losses. The second one is the health status. No significant differences found of it. The third one is the drivers. Spending cuts linked to risk avoidance, partial lockdown, weaker economic outlook, and reduced income.
Singaporean businesses need to focus on improving digital transformation post-COVID-19. This includes expanding into digital services like automation, AI, and e-commerce, as well as developing multi-source procurement strategies. Businesses should partner with regional suppliers, collaborate with private training providers for industry-specific certifications, and foster a freelancing or gig economy. Promoting remote and hybrid work models where possible is also key for future growth.